Hello everyone, my name is Gweakles and today I'm going to be reviewing ArtSnacks subscriptions. Now, in case you don't know, ArtSnacks is a monthly subscription box for artists, kind of like Ipsy or Birchbox or what's the one that everyone does? The geek one. I'm brain dead. I'm sorry. It's been a very long week. Anyways, I'm going to be reviewing ArtSnacks. ArtSnacks reached out to me and they asked me if I'd be interested in receiving a box from them. Now, they are not paying me to make this box. They just give me this box for free, which was totally cool. And so I'm going to do a review of it for you guys, and so you know, and I think it'd be cool. I love monthly subscriptions. I love looking at other people's subscription reviews, and this pertains to art, so yay, art supplies. Now, this is a good option for some of you who may not have a good local art store, some of you who don't have time to go online and research proper supplies, or you don't want to just mess around and spend money and be like, oh no, I messed up. So this is a great option for you because subscription, hey, who doesn't want to get ArtSnacks every month? But the first thing that came in my box was this really cool card that basically says what everything is, its retail value, the brand, what their favorite thing is. It also tells you, they let you do ArtSnacks challenge. So if you use the products in your box to create an original piece of art, snap a picture of your artwork and share it with their hashtag. So another awesome opportunity to get involved in a community. And they also left this really cool mark called Eat, Sleep, Draw, which looks like it's another community, largest user submitted online gallery. It's their sister company. So Eat, Sleep, Draw looks like another online gallery for you to go and submit your work to, and just become a part of a great community. So I would seize every opportunity to get involved in as many artistic communities and just online mediums as you could, because you never know who's watching, and the more places you're at, the more awesome opportunities you're going to give yourself. That being said, the first item that came in the box was this really neat Artbin pencil holder, brush holder. It was actually holding everything that they gave me. I never bought an Artbin item before, but they make storage designed for creative minds. But this is perfect. It's got a little latch-a-do, so you could attach it to whatever you have going on and store all your brushes and your pencils. I'm always losing my brushes, I'm always losing my pencils, even though I have a million bags. It's crazy. I'm really ashamed of myself. The retail value on it is $4.29. I'm not surprised. Honestly, I think that this would be a lot more expensive. I know that art containers or storage or transporting stuff for art that is specifically for art is usually overly priced and way expensive, but $5 isn't bad at all, especially if you got it in a subscription box. I got this really cool sticker. I'll put stickers everywhere. I love stickers. And this really neat ArtSnacks pen, and their logo is a pretzel that is also a pencil, and I love that, and it's cute and witty and food and art, and just love it. The most expensive thing that I got in the thing is Winsor and Newton, and it's their watercolor stick. For those of you who may not know, Winsor and Newton is a very high prestige brand, but they do make very good products. They're kind of up there. They're kind of like the Louis Vuitton, Gucci of art supplies. I do get their things when they're on sale. So like if an art store is doing a clearance, I will get some of their more generic brands or their lower branded watercolors or watercolor brushes, but only if they're on sale. It says the retail for this is $9.29. Not surprised at all. In a lot of cases with art supplies, you do get what you pay for. In some cases, it's really not needed. This is a watercolor stick, so it would be similar to a watercolor pencil, or this is like a crayon. So this would be almost as if doing pastels or something like that. I've actually never used a watercolor stick, so I'm excited to test this out. But it looks really cool, and Winsor & Newton always makes good stuff. I'm really excited about this Pigma brush pen. I have tons of Pigma micron pens, which is like their little felt tip version. I used to use them all the time. They used to be my brush liners before I found the Pentel Pocket brush pen, but it's in purple. You guys know my favorite color, but it is like a felt brush pen. They make amazing stuff. It's waterproof and fade proof, and they make good stuff, and it's only retail price $2.50, so not overly expensive. I know Pigma makes good stuff. I'm excited to test this out as well. Another thing that I got was the Protege size 8 flat brush, which can be used, it says, for acrylic, tempera, and watercolor paints. It's synthetic bristles, so not natural hair, not hurting any animals or anything. It does, the tip when I wiggle it, feel a little loose, like it's not, you can hear, it's not really glued on all the way. I mean, you're gonna get that. I work with, none of my brushes are expensive. They're really cheap, which is bad. I should probably invest more in my brushes for how much I use them, but if you're just starting out, it really doesn't matter as long as something works. I don't use a whole lot of flat heads. I like rounded brushes, but this is always good for making texture or covering a lot of space or trying to get a different approach and texture to your piece that you're using, especially if it can. Synthetic brushes are good because you can use them for just about anything as long as you wash them. And this is the General's Color-Tex Cobalt Blue pencil. So this is similar to like a drafting pencil that animators, tattoo artists, or illustrators or any other artists use to go on with their general sketch. And then like it's their undertone. Some of them lift it off. Some of it, when they scan it, they remove the color. That's why they use the blues, the reds. That's why I use the rose, because it blends with my watercolors. And I personally find colored pencils to be less intimidating or less damaging than the graphite, but this is really cool. Totally be able to use this for anything really, whether it be sketching, which I'm going to do with it, sketch, whether it be for sketching or whether it be for coloring. It seems awesome, and the retail is $120. It's pretty standard for like an artist pencil, or if it's name brand. I don't think I've ever heard of General's before. But this is a very nice, well-rounded amount of products to get in one package. I'm really excited, especially about the watercolor brush and the Pigma brush pen. It's really nice and well-rounded, especially if you don't particularly know what sort of art supplies you're interested in trying, or what you're interested in dipping your fingers or your feeties into, and you don't want to spend too much money or go in the wrong direction. So this is a nice well-rounded bit to, I mean, one of these things you're probably gonna fall in love with. I know that you like this, and this is watercolors, you can't go wrong with that. But I'm gonna test these out for you right now so we can both see how well they work. But this is an amazing subscription. I mean, I am gonna probably have to look into getting a subscription myself. Maybe not yet, I'm a little poor, but in a little bit, because this is really cool, and especially if you're looking to test things out, it looks like ArtSnacks is the way to go. But I'm gonna test these supplies out and we can see what they're all about. Okay, the first thing I'm going to use is the General's Color-Tex colored pencil, and this is in cobalt blue. So this would normally be no different than me sketching with my Prismacolor Color-Erase color pencils, and I am going to draw a squid. I've been playing a lot of Splatoon and I can't get over that game, but yeah, it's really light. It goes over on the paper really smooth and easy. It's very nice. I wonder though if it will be forgiving when I go to erase. Oh, it's very forgiving. It's not waxy at all, which is wonderful. I did press a little harder right there, so it is more difficult to get out. than a Prismacolor Coal Erase colored pencil, but this is going on very smoothly, very easy to work with, and I like this. I'm a fan of it. I don't think this is any different than me working with any other colored pencil, save for that some colored pencils may be waxy, but this is really nice and I am a fan of this pencil. I'm gonna try the Winsor Newton watercolor. What are they referring it to as? The watercolor stick. I don't want to call it the wrong thing. This is $9, a little more than $9, so pretty expensive. Now the idea with this is you can push this on first and then take the brush. I'm going to try this brush and add color to it afterwards. Now I will say this, blue is probably not a very good option to look at. Blue tends to, the pigment doesn't always like translate well no matter what kind of blue you're using. So I'm gonna try and use a little more. It's very similar to using a crayon. Doesn't smear like a pastel would. Yeah, I just needed to use a little bit more. That's cool. It's a really neat texture. You know, if you want an alternative texture, if you're not keen on relying on your water and your pigment skills, like if you wanted to cover a large area of your piece and you wanted the color to be consistent, you could use this or a watercolor pencil, and you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about mixing colors. You wouldn't have to worry about you know, am I going to be using the correct amount of water and pigment every time. Now you can see there the difference. I didn't use as much of the pigment, or I didn't use as much of the stick, so the pigment wasn't as strong. Now the one thing about these are the layering. You probably, after this is dry, it would probably be difficult to go back and layer over this, and it would probably, you know, if you're a kind of person who enjoys painting in layers, that may be difficult for you, because this was your pigment first and then you added water to it, so it's kind of like an end game. It would probably be really good for mixing. I don't have another one, so I can't show you, but I assume that it would be good for mixing, because all of your pigment is already right there and you wouldn't necessarily have to worry. All you would have to do is add the water, and that is the ideal here. But it is very cool. It gives you a nice alternative texture. It definitely makes me feel like I have a lot of control. It makes me feel like it's gonna be I get what I get out of the situation, and like all I've already laid down where everything's gonna go. All I have to do is add the water and smooth it out, which is really cool. It's pretty neat, and I'm getting as I said, really neat texture out of it. I love texture, and if you like working lightly or just getting a texture out of things, this is really cool. Winsor Newton makes really good products, but I'm pretty sure like if you didn't have the money for this, then it wouldn't be a big deal. This would actually also be cool. You could use this last after already using your watercolors, and it would be perfectly fine, but I don't think you could go back and use something on top of this. Again, I'm not sure, but this is really cool. Now the last thing I want to check out is the Pigma brush pen, which I'm sure is going to be amazing. Yep. The tip is felt, and it's not too, you know, light to where if I mess something up, or not mess something up, if I push too hard, it doesn't like fray or freak out. The pigment is not very bright, but it's not awful. It's really cool. I mean, it's ink. That's to be expected. I can get really nice tapered lines out of it. I'm gonna let this dry for a second, and then I'm gonna go on top, back on top of it. Okay, so now that this is dry, I'm gonna go back over my little squidums. This pen is awesome. I feel it's way different than the Pentel brush, obviously, because this is felt. It's not like a really light and like usually with the Pentel brush I feel like really nervous. This is kind of, this is a felt brush, so I have to put a little bit more pressure on it to get it where I want it to go, but that's okay. Again, just like any other product or any other art media, I'd have to get used to it, but I'm not having a hard time at all tapering my lines or getting any control over it. It is a lot of control, and if I wanted to, I could have gone over the sketch with the pen first, which is what I should have done, to show you that it is waterproof. And that is one of the things that I love about the Pigma brushes, is that I can do my inking first, and then I could do my watercolors, because I feel like my guide is already there and I'm not worried about, you know, messing anything up. A lot of artists do their things in reverse. It's, you know, all a personal preference, and you do what works best for you. But obviously, as you can see, I can get really nice tapered lines. It is a very good control. It's a very nice pigment. Again, it's a little dark, but that's okay. This is an ink. I wonder how quick it dries. Just laid that down, so that's pretty quick, I'd say. Everybody's always worried about me, especially. I'm always worried about smudging, because everybody always wants to work quickly, and who wants to wait to sit in art, right? So that's good. This is amazing. They make good stuff. Very cool. All in all, this is an amazing subscription. I mean, I would love to have these products every month. They're all good products. They all held up really well. Definitely even the smaller ones worth their price. I would use all of these in a day-to-day thing, and even if you didn't, this is a great way to say, yes, I would like this, but maybe if it was in a different color, or I'd like this, but this is too expensive, or not this, I like this, but this is too expensive. I'm gonna see if I can't find a cheaper version. An excellent way to check this out, and they're offering 2 communities for you to go and join and immerse yourself within other artists, so I think that's an awesome opportunity. Thank you so much, ArtSnacks, for sending me this box and these products. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll give you a link down below to everything I used. and where you can find them online in case you aren't subscribed to ArtSnacks and you are interested in these products. And I'll link to ArtSnacks in case you are interested in subscribing to them. But once again, thank you ArtSnacks, and thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an excellent holiday. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.